Welcome and thank you for joining Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This is a show that focuses on the arts and the artist's God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. And on today's show, we have Michael Kalinovich.
Yes.
Kalinovich.
You got it.
Kalinovich.
You got
There
it.
we go. AKA Double G. What's going on, brother?
There's a whole lot of praising God in the building today, man. That's what we're gonna do.
It is. Now, you guys, first of all, let me do a shout out to Twin. I got your text, you play too much. So I know you're laughing right now. So Twin, you play too much. God bless you and the kids and everybody. So this here is a relative of mine, spiritually, because we both belong to the apostolic faith.
Apostolic faith in the building.
Oh, listen, we love it. So when I was reading his bio, when I saw that they're baptized in Jesus' name, and I was just the Acts 2:38 going on in the building, I was really loving that. So I believe in all Christianity, but when you have a faith, it's good to be around those that believe as you do, according to the way you do.
Absolutely.
And so, man, it's wonderful to be here. As a Christian spoken word artist, you use your poems to win souls.
Absolutely.
So the Bible said that he that winneth souls is wise. So tell us how you do that.
Man, it's all about the messages mixed in with the wordplay. It's like I got a piece called "Make 'Em Want What You Got." It uses my God-given talents, like playing with the words and stuff like that, lining them up in a manner that can relate to, people that appeal like rap and like spoken word and stuff like that, that are attracted to the rhythm, and then, God slips the message in there so that they can get fed while they enjoying the music. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just, I look at it like this: God will use any way that He can to get to people. I'm just one of those avenues. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Spoken word is biblical. We've been saying
Absolutely.
that for the last 4 weeks. I think we had spoken word artists on this show about 7 times.
absolutely.
Wow, we got a few more to go.
Tell you what, just in the name spoken word, that's how existence came into being. It was spoken
Right,
word.
right.
So
And let there be,
Right.
and God says.
Right.
And we don't know when He said, and let there be idiots. But we but we know we have a few of those, and we gotta love them as well too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, spoken word is beautiful. It's biblical, and again, it moves my soul.
Yeah,
And so, tell us a little bit about Double G.
man. Majority of my poetry and stuff like that is testimonial. I was diagnosed with leukemia when I was 1. I spent my first and second birthday in the hospital, and man, it's all about giving back and everything like that. I fell into ways like, I went through chemotherapy and everything like that, and then growing up, it's like I was dumb, I was abusing my body, and one day it all kind of hit me like that. So, I started spitting when I was writing when I was 12.
Okay.
Spitting when I was older and everything like that, but it all kind of came together in the spoken word, became God's gift, and that's my way of giving back.
Right.
Is just, just using my gifts for His purposes,
Right.
So that's where that all came from, and then just growing and everything like that, and being around certain people in the community and everything like that. It's been an amazing journey, So, man, again, part of several different groups and everything like that. I know we're gonna get into that later. I'm not gonna speak too much on it right now, but it's been an awesome ride, and I'm happy just to, be on the forefront like that. Being able to reach out to people, being able to speak to the masses, meet them on their level and everything like that. Because people come from all walks of life, and just being able to relate to anybody at any given time is just a blessing in itself.
Right.
So
Right. When were you 100% free of leukemia?
man, I was fortunate. I went through several trials and everything like that. And when I was actually 18, I was put into a lifetime survivors program. They called it at Children's Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
And it's like I still got to go for the checkups and everything like that. But I've been in remission for a long, long time. It's been a blessing. So.
Right. Because you're well over 1 or 2 right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so we praise God that you are in good health.
Thank you.
We praise God that you are following your path.
Yep.
That's very important. You have to be in your calling.
Yep.
And so, do you preach it?
You know what? It's an interesting thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a member of Apostolic Faith Church. I met up with another pastor named Calvin Watkins of a church in Robbins.
In Robbins?
Yes.
Okay.
And, he asked me if I wanted to be ordained, and I was kind of praying about it still, because my home church his Apostolic Faith Church and everything like that. I love Bishop Horace Smith.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He's helped me out like leaps and bounds,
Right.
just helping me figure all this stuff
Right.
out, and mainly like walking in my purpose. So it's like I've been asked to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't necessarily followed it. And so it might be my near future, everything like that. I mean, if that is my calling and everything like
Right.
that, certainly I
Right.
won't deny it. But I mean,
Right.
you know, it just asks a lot of questions that I don't necessarily
Okay.
can't answer
Okay.
right now. You know
I
what
get
I mean?
that.
So
I get that.
I mean, if I'm going to do that, you know what I'm saying, I want that to be my purpose, not just something that I want to do. You know
So
what I mean?
it's not a desire, it's a calling, and you want to
No.
make sure that you're called. is what you're
Absolutely. I
saying.
want to make sure
Right.
I'm in line with my purpose 100%,
Right.
because it's not about what I want as a poet or as a, you know what I'm saying, just a disciple. Like, it's something that needs to be in my path, not something that I choose to be in my path. So,
Right, right. Cool. So I know there's some preachers, maybe not a whole lot, but maybe they felt as though they called themselves. And so it's good to live in your purpose. It's very good to live in your purpose. So I commend you for that. I know I've heard this before. I know I had your team members. So 3BM and Team at Ease.
yes.
What is that? Just in case I listen to all this, don't remember who your team members were.
Man. Again, walking with your purpose, you are aligned with just people that will support that, people that will nurture your gift, people that will drag your gift out of you beyond your wildest dreams, everything like that. I've been on the scene for pretty close to 20 years now.
Wow.
And again,
Wow, that's big.
right, I mean, I've seen a lot of people come up in the spoken word game, you know, deaf poets and everything like that, the Emeralds, the Red Storms, but they're just some people that,
Red Storm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was starting out,
I know, dude.
I'd see Red Storm,
Yeah.
like performing at Giovanni's,
Right.
right before he.
I used to go there. I used to go to Giovanni.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same circle, right?
Right.
So,
I reached out to Red Storm on Facebook, but he was in Atlanta, and he was with an R&B singer. I can't think of her name. It's one of those soulful ladies. I can see her face. I just don't remember her name. And he was on stage with her, and I hit him on Facebook, and I tried to get some dialogue with him because I wanted to take my books down. But Red Storm is just like
right.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm saying
I'm a fan.
his testimony alone is crazy.
Indeed. Oh yeah.
So I mean, like seeing that, you know,
Yes.
like being front row center for that was
Right.
essential for
Right.
me to see. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And again, like we're talking on 3BM. I don't know if you know Momentum Garrett.
I don't know.
Momentum.
Right.
Man, the hands down the dopest individual you will ever meet in life.
So you're right.
Oh man, I put that on everything, man.
Right.
But again, he was just one of those people that I latched onto because, like, again, too, like he was living a certain life. He met God and then lost his brother and everything like that. And he went and became, you know, fully committed Christian poet. And like, there's certain people on the scene that you just admire, that you love to hear speak, that you receive a seed from whenever they speak to you. It's like, and he was just one of those people, and he's one of the founders of 3BM. There was Momentum, Odyssey, and Scroll. Like,
Okay.
so that was just, we were always in the same circle and everything like that. And I saw what they were doing. I'm like, man, I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they're out here, and not only are they very, very talented people, but they're very humble and doing things in the community too. Like they currently still run like workshops for kids after school and everything like that to keep them, you know, like away from stuff like on the
Right,
streets
right.
and everything
I
like
believe
that.
in
And
that.
stuff like that's essential.
Right.
But like they've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? They've been in existence for 20 years better as well.
Right.
And then like you know what I'm saying? So that's just one of the things, like, okay, I got to be a part of this. And through that, you know what I'm saying, I met members of Team at Ease because they're also part of 3BM like me. There was
Right.
Shamika Shavers, there's Hood Raised, man, just so many others. You know, Misha's 411.
The Jacksons too, right?
Jacksons are now too,
Right.
but they're not part of 3BM. Not saying
Okay,
that's
I understand.
that's how I met them, was through
Right.
Team at Ease. So it's like, I mean, I've been part of Team at Ease for less than a year so far, but I've been around them,
Right.
seeing
Like
what they
Amy.
were doing. Yeah,
Amy's powerful.
phenomenal.
Whoa, she's a killer.
She's
She
awesome.
hurts the game. Yes.
Like, on the low, she's my auntie. Like, not for real, for real.
Uh-huh.
For real. I call her auntie. She calls me nephew. It's crazy.
Hey, we're going to take a commercial break. These commercial breaks are brought to you by the Insurance Exchange located in South Holland, Illinois. Ask for Brandy. We'll be right back, guys. And welcome back. You are with Andre Renee at Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. And Double G is about to tell us what inspired your favorite poem.
Man, okay. Again, it's all about using our talents and gifts and everything like that, and you know what I'm saying, bringing people to Christ through stuff like that. And that's kind of like the, I guess the plot for my favorite poem, if you want to say. It's called "Make 'Em Want What You Got." It's super dope. Again, it's just using people, like using our talents and everything like that, to look at people and say, "Wow, I want to be able to do that. How'd you do that?"
Right.
And I'm like, I had a conversation with God. So, man, it was just like something like that. That's always been awesome to me how that works. It's like when I started, I'll give you long and short of it, like Bishop Horace Smith said something to me one day. He's like, well, not to me, but to the congregation. He said, when I started speaking, there were no doctors, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a certified surgeon.
Right, yes,
like
he's
that.
a real doctor.
Right, he's a real doctor.
Right.
And he says, my pastor, he said, everyone, you know, stand up for a doctor. And he's like, one or two people stood up. I'm asked that same question today, and well over 50 people stood up. So, on the same note, I kind of noticed too. I'm like, how many? I asked the same question of an audience one day. I'm like, how many spiritual poets we got in the building and stuff like that.
Right.
And a whole bunch of people stood up. And I remember when I first started, there was maybe like one or two on the scene. So I mean, just seeing the same kind of change happen. You know what I mean? Seeing the same kind of timeline. And that's just what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's like whether you can draw people in through song, whether it's spoken word, whether it's everything. I mean, it's just, it's all about using the gifts that you were given, and you know what I'm saying, multiplying your talents and everything like that. It's the same thing. Parable of talents is what it is.
Right. Now we have 24 Double G, God's gift. I'm holding your
That's a
secret.
common
I'm saying it wrong.
It's actually 2G.
Look at me, so dumb for Double G.
Yes.
Wow. I have a book that's called Bullies Don't Scare Me.
Okay.
And a lot of people see the book and the first thing they say is, bullets don't scare me.
Yeah.
It's not bullets, it's bullies. So we write a book that says bullets don't scare me, right? So I just made that mistake.
It's all right.
So Double G, and it says Double G.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite poem on here?
Yeah, it's the Make 'Em Want What You Got.
Make 'Em Want What You Got?
Right.
That's your favorite?
Yep.
So can you warm the mic and hit us with it?
All right, cool.
Here we go.
It's been one too many mic checks since my pen last graced the page. It's been 70 times, 7 times the times that I forgave. Be that lyrical baby boy coming to age. The same on the street as you see on the stage, and believe me, living this life is truly a treasure. Like living godly pleases God, but it's also my pleasure making this right in my reflex to win. God applies the pressure like a chain reaction. See, the greater is he that is in me, gave 2G a preview of what he promised would happen, sort of like a coming attraction. I endured the pain to gain what I was lacking, then printed my retraction to my life story for the glory of my creator, then began to decrease the mean, the denominator of my godly fraction, in an effort to become whole. See, God declared, this is my season, is the reason I'm lyrically swollen. In Jesus' name, I came to reclaim what the devil stole by twisting verse like a verbal contortionist. Can lead you to the altar of your insides by simultaneously reciting light and inserting life like a reverse abortionist. And since faith comes through hearing, I'll be filling this room from floor to ceiling with seeds of healing, all while increasing my portion in this realm of spoken word. And thanks to the God in whom I trust, since the womb I've been lyrically kicking up dust like a Portland trailblazer. And truthfully, I glide like Clyde when I stick to the course my spiritual guide provides, like I'm coasting. My only explanation is I'm ghosting. Now I'm lifting my glass like I'm toasting to God for seating me at the head of the class in exchange for putting his name on blast. And all I'm composing, see, I confide in him. That's why I rhyme like I'm chosen.
Amen. All right. There we go. There's the clap right there. Hey, I feel that.
Yeah.
Did you say reverse abortionist?
Yes.
I dig that. I love that. And you have 16 tracks.
Yes, sir.
And you are streaming everywhere.
Yes.
Spotify,
Apple Music, everything is available on iTunes, on CD Baby, Amazon, Tidal.
YouTube,
Pretty
no
much.
doubt.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I've got a couple videos. I got a video of the track Freedom that's on there. It's the last track on the album. And I've also got some pieces that are recorded a cappella that are on my YouTube channel and everything like that. But, you know what I'm saying, in Man Avenue definitely reach everything that I'm doing, and all the stuff that I'm like collaborating with people and everything like that is through Facebook.
What's your YouTube channel? What's the name?
It's Double G God's Gift. All one word.
Hit us with all of your social media titles, names.
Easiest way to run that down is on Facebook. Just type in @Double G the Poet. That'll bring you to my fan page, because I got a really long name and he can't even pronounce it. So we good on that. But again, too, on Instagram and Twitter, you can hit me at Double G God's Gift, all one word.
There you go. So, and we're going to reiterate that later in the show.
For sure.
So we want people to hear this fire, this Christian apostolic fire.
Right.
So what's the PAW, right? You guys are PAW?
Yeah, Pentecostal service.
Right. PAW. Man, that's beautiful. Do you know Bishop Elder Edward McNeil? He's PAW.
I don't believe it. No.
What is the guy in Indianapolis name? Jesus, what is this? Hopefully it'll come to me during
I'll
the
talk
show.
to Bishop.
Bishop.
I'll talk to Bishop.
Yeah, right. Bishop in Indianapolis, he PAW as well. They have vendor events, and his wife wrote a book, and they have something, I think in Arizona, that's coming up. And so I look at the website. It's on the PAW website. So in 2010, you were crowned one of the kings of poetry.
Yep.
Man, that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. Man, about that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That was just
A lot of it. Hit us with that. King of poetry. One of the kings of poetry.
one of the kings of poetry.
Yes.
I will never in life call myself king of poetry. I don't believe in one person. Like, it was intended to.
I understand.
It was intended to just celebrate, you know what I'm saying, the lives and talents of people that have been doing big things in the community and everything like that. And just the class that I was in with that, to name a few, P.Me, Vertigo, man, just, it was a stellar event. First time the show premiered was at the DuSable Museum. They sold out the DuSable and had to turn over 150 people away.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's when spoken word was just like, oh, we got to see this,
Right.
you know? So, like, that was one thing. And then the show that I was on, we actually went to the Capri Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And again, just an overwhelming turnout there and everything like that. But I mean, again, it's not so much about the title. I mean, it's a nice thing to have. They also have like the heirs to the throne. It was an offshoot of that. But again, it was just a way to celebrate people that have, you know what I'm saying, done some major milestones and everything like that in the spoken word community. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that title is frowned upon because there's a lot of very, very talented people. It wasn't meant, it wasn't meant to cast down
I see what you're saying.
anybody.
I see your point.
So, I mean, that subject is kind of touchy to some
Right,
people, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not placing myself above anybody, nothing like that. It was just an awesome experience to be a part of. That's why I listed.
I
you
see
know what
that.
I mean?
Right.
So-
But that's huge to be crowned as. I mean, you had the kings of comedy, the queens of comedy,
Right.
so on and so forth. So
inspired by that.
Right.
So,
right. We're going to take one more commercial break. That's sponsored by St. Augustine Episcopal Church from Gary, Indiana. Check them out. And we are back to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe, and we want to ask you, what advice would you give someone who wants to display their talent that never have before, ever?
Google poetry in the city that you want to go to and go to every single venue that you possibly can.
Exposure.
Exposure. Not exposure of yourself, but exposure to the
Right.
art that you're trying to learn.
Right.
Obviously, there are some people that will definitely embrace you on the scene, but some people that will just shrug it off, but eventually you will get noticed, you'll get lined up with the right people, and, you know what I'm saying, as part of your purpose, you will flourish in that. But again, it's just a very enjoyable art, so I mean, either way, you are not missing out. If you're just going to listen, if you're just going to spit, if you're going to learn a craft, it's just,
Right.
you have to be physically present.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever been to the Black Pearl? Little Black Pearl, they have a set every night, I think Fridays?
Yes, I have, actually. You know Binky?
No, Yvette Warren is my friend there. I had a book signing there.
Okay.
And so I look at the what's coming up, and I've seen it, but I don't know them per se.
I went there once because, like, the one of the most iconic groups in Chicago ever was verbal balance. And there's a gentleman that's was part of that group called, he went by Binky, Lawrence Toffer, I think his name was, but he went to Thailand to teach. And then I went to the set at the Little Black Pearl when he came back from Thailand.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had people that were featuring and stuff like that, and I just wanted to come back and see him because he's like a super, really awesome individual as well. So I went there once. So, I mean, but when I have, again, just to touch on that topic again, I know when I was first starting out, I literally Googled every single open mic. Like sometimes I went in there and they were speaking a different language than what I actually spoke.
Right. Literally.
So like, yeah. So I mean, like you go there and you're like, okay, but I still stayed. I still performed and everything like that. It's just you gotta.
Have you now? I remember.
With it.
I'm sorry. I remember Amy was telling me about the barber shop on the west side of Chicago.
Yes, that's the team Eddie's home.
Right now, when I think of the west side of Chicago, I don't think Kilinovich or Amy. You know why, right? Yeah. So being, and I'll allow you to say it. So being a little different from what we probably see in our poetry set. Did you ever feel uncomfortable?
Never.
Because poets show love.
Never once.
Right.
You open your mouth and your talent speaks for yourself.
Right.
It speaks for itself.
Because they heard you warm the mic and they probably don't realize that you're Caucasian.
They adopted me.
When Amy was at my branded event, she killed it.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to start from right here and I'm just going to walk up to the mic.
Yeah.
And was she on fire, I tell you. And so it's not about what you are, it's about what you project.
Right.
And in the poetry community, we accept all. When we went to Giovanni's, it was beautiful. You had people of all sorts. You had the hood, you had the educated, you had the young, you had everybody. But what was the common theme? Poetry was the common theme. So you kind of hit on what is your blueprint for success.
Sure.
So what would you consider? What does failure mean to you in this business?
Experience for growth.
I like that.
If one formula doesn't work on it and bring it back.
I like that. Right. So it's a teaching.
Yep, teachable moments.
Les Brown, one of my favorite sayings. Les Brown said, you fall in on your back because you're facing the direction you should go.
Okay.
And so I love that. So when you fall, again, it's just a lesson. So what would you tell the people about your next shows? Where are they?
Man, I mean, me personally, I don't have anything slated. I know part of Team Eddie's, we've got a show coming up November 17th. It's called But God Said 3. And again, it's building on 2 previous shows that we did. And, you know what I'm saying, it's just giving people exposure to the arts. It's giving people, you know what I'm saying, again, teachable moments about how to increase your faith and everything like that, how to trust in God, how to rely on God, how to, you know what I'm saying, hold God to the promises that He promised you. Because, like, it's easy to get overwhelmed and everything like that in life, you know what I'm saying, when you thought that you were owed something or you were promised something, but then you don't see it. But it's an act of faith to wait on that until it comes, to trust in God and believe God for what He promised. So
cool. Now, thank you, Double G. I appreciate you for coming out.
Okay.
And listen, people, listen to our show every Sunday at 6:30. Thank God that all is not lost. Or we must remember that love covers a multitude of faults. From His birth to His death, the word of promise was everywhere. Joy to the world. Love is always present, even in the midst of despair. We ought to fight a tough spiritual battle. Be strong and hold fast. This pain won't ever last. The enemy never stops